accept that, I acknowledge that, and let's move on. Oh, you'll need,
Yes.
My ongoing battle with the cold callers is getting very interesting. It really is. I mean, you've heard many of the stories. The latest one, guy from BT phoned up and said, and I always adopt the same sort of Devonian farmer persona. He phoned up and said, asked about my telephone. I said, well, I don't have a telephone personally. And then I got a call from a guy saying, according to our records, you've made no provision for your funeral. I said, well, I've already died in Yeovil, mate, so that threw him. But the latest, most enjoyable one is the accident that wasn't your fault guy. He spent about 15 minutes trying to persuade me I've been involved in this accident that wasn't my fault. And I spent as long trying to persuade him that it was my fault. But he was so confident, you know, he said, it wasn't your fault. I said, well, depends which way you looks at it, really. He said, but the records show. I said, well, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. He said, but if it wasn't your fault. I said, well, I had been drinking. And when he hung up, I was so in character. How bloody rude that was. I do believe I should go and speak to his mother. In Aylesbury or wherever it is. There's a bit of a...
Blast from the past.
Indeed. High above the earth, hours before we land, morning slowly breaks and the dawn's lifting. Only I'm awake, so gently in my hands I trace 100 lives through the darkness drifting. In wings of steel I will enfold you. My arms are strong and I will hold you. Far out at sea, 100 miles from shore, a storm begins to rise and the tide's turning, driving wind and rain will try my skill once more, testing yet again all my craft and learning. But to calmer seas I will steer you, and you'll be safe when I am near you. For we search on every side with a compass and a guide, for We steer towards the west. The rain beats on the road, and the sun is setting. Oh my love, you close your eyes, soon you'll sleep